It was actually a Biggie Smalls St. Ives commercial. That was a Biggie Smalls beat. It was produced by DJ Pooh for a St. Ives commercial.
I know you're thinking, what he drinking? The cookie leather. No other beer feel better.
So I know y'all remember when Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound literally came through New York and crushed the buildings with one of the rawest disses of all time. New York, New York. But yo, it's so much more to this story, man. Let's start with the fact that the song was originally a tribute to NY until Biggie escalated the situation when he invited Brooklyn snipers to the party. Not shooters, snipers.
We ain't tripping. 5 minutes later, pew, pew, pew.
This is Care from Life is Lyrical. Pay attention. Like buttons to your left, subscribe buttons to your right.
And we fucked with Biggie and we like Biggie, so Pooh, my right-hand man, gave Biggie the beat. So when I heard the beat and heard Biggie on it, I told Pooh, let me get that beat. He was like, all right, cool. Biggie ain't using it for his album. It was just for the commercial. I take the beat, put the hook on it, Corrupt put lyrics on it.
First of all, there was no hook. I just laid the verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the original hook went, you ain't all that, something, something, something. You ain't all that, it was Daz. But then when I was going to lay the second verse, Snoopy came in the studio, me and DJ Pooh and Daz. And he came in because he was in his car when he was driving to the studio. As he pulled up, he was playing Melly Mel and Furious 5. Mm. He was playing New York, New York, big city of dreams.
New York, big city of dreams. And everything in New York ain't
always what it seems. You might get food if you come from out of town.
But I'm down by law and I know my way around too much.
Too many people. So he came in singing what he was listening to in the car.
Right.
And as he came in, bam, the door opens, his dog. Pooh like, Snoop. And I turned around like, oh, this. Dad was like, cuz. And dog was like, New York, big city. And the beat's playing. Thing in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get, and then he said it the Melly Mel way, right? And then DJ Pooh was like, ooh, that's tight. Hey, that needs to be the hook right there. You should go lay that. And then dog was like, sis? And that's when he changed the ending. But from the Dog Pound, whoop wop. That's what it was, cause it was hip hop, guys.
We fly to New York probably about a month later. I go see Russell Simmons. We're in the back of a limousine. And I play the record for Russell. And Russell like, this motherfucker record is a hit. I'm like, yeah, nigga, we love Grandmaster Flash. And that's where I got it from. The hook is from Grandmaster Flash. So I'm like, I love them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Back to me showing love again. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to shoot the video in New York, nigga. We're going to bring lowriders and everything out here. Russell was like, that'd be a dope idea. I help you get some of the rappers. Cool. So we finally scheduled it to come back out there to shoot the video. Get to New York. Go to Hot 97. Funkmaster Flex is on the air. We try to get up to go see him. We get froze. They don't let us up. We ain't tripping. We like, maybe he, you know, interviewing him, maybe we should schedule it or whatnot, but we don't get up. So we like, cool. We go back to the video shoot. We shooting in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Now, we turn on Hot 97. We hear Biggie Smalls on the radio. Red Hook, Brooklyn. Stand up. Tupac and the Dog Pound shooting the video in Brooklyn right now.
Biggie was on the radio telling them like, yeah, y'all gonna let them come down here in our city and da-da-da-da, and they down there in Times Square. Go handle that. You know what I mean? And it was on from then, and then Tupac heard it, and then he was going crazy.
We heard him on the radio, and he was telling his boys that we was out there disrespecting their stomping grounds. Man, they got low riders on in Times Square. Yo, B called me, and he named out a few people and told them to call him and live on the radio, and they let him like it was the chat line. Yeah, he was calling out names, and you know, B, Gutter.
First scene we shot when we first got there was at Times Square. We had the lowriders at Times Square. A couple of New York rappers showed up. We was out there showing love, shooting a video in New York, let niggas know.
The original video was to get all the New York rappers in with us. Yeah. And have a good time. It was Times Square. We wanted Nas there and Biggie and...
We didn't have social media back then, so we couldn't go on Instagram and be like, hey, my nigga, show up. The only word of mouth was through the radio station. So if we can't get to the radio, we can't get to the people. Well, remember what I just told you. Biggie gets on the radio after we can't get on the radio and says what he says. Now we go to Red Hook and we shoot. One of my homies from Naughty by Nature tell me, hey dog, I wouldn't shoot the video over there. I would, bounce. I'm like, nah, we good. So now my daddy's a Vietnam vet. My daddy come back in the trailer. Man, he's talking crazy, but we like, man, this nigga, my daddy tripping. But my daddy really on some other shit, cause he a Vietnam vet, he peeping game. We ain't tripping. My daddy walk out the trailer, go to the store. 5 minutes later, pew, pew, pew.
It had to be at least about a mile and a half away. They were sniping into the trailer, whoever it was. He was sniping into the trailer.
How do you know how far away it was?
Because nothing else was on that elevation. My line of sight went to the next building that it could have been coming from at that angle, and it was very far away. Very far away.
So someone had a sniper and was trying to shoot at, and where did it hit?
It comes through the window. Snoop gets up, he brings me the blunt. Another bullet come through the window. I said, they shooting. Cause I heard the first one, but I didn't make it out. I'm like, and I heard something like, but I didn't see nothing. It wasn't no big splatter or nothing. And then the next bullet came through. So we got on the ground, security opened the door immediately, fired up the van, snatched everybody out, threw us in the van, told us to stay down, got them like flights up out of there within the next couple of hours.
We made New York, New York. We got shot at. We went back to Snoop's house. We was down for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. About a week. Before Dog just woke up one morning and said, man, fuck that. And then that's when he called DJ Pooh, cuz this what we gonna do. And we started kicking everything over. Shoot at us, we survived. Bam! We slapped the game in the ass. And what's happening?
I didn't take it as if he called the shot. I took it as if we was out of bounds and some people in that neighborhood just didn't feel us and was trying to, give us a warning to get up out of there. So at that time, remember what my mind was. I'm on peace, but I'm still gangster. So after we get out of that and get back to LA, the word is, Cuz got us popped at, but we never go public. We never, and that's why y'all never heard about it, because we never went, we kept it under our hat because it was my call. And Dog said, I'm gonna take that on the chin. So I take that on the chin, but other people on the label don't like that. They like, fuck that. We ain't taking that on the chin.
He got on the radio and said what he said because he was young. Mm-hmm. And I bet you this much right here, he didn't even realize his power at that time.
Right.
Because what he said sparked his entire city. He didn't understand what he said would spark that whoop wop. Mm-hmm. He was, just letting people know that, hey man, if it was us out there, they wouldn't go for it.
We was kind of like respecting the gangsterism about it. Like, if they'd have been out here, what would happen. So, okay, they just took it the wrong way. The song was never meant as a diss. I don't know if people get that today or have ever figured that out.
Melly Mel, it was a Melly Mel song.
Yeah.
And he got paid for that, 100% of that song. We didn't get a dime off of that song.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Sugar Hill wanted it all.
So I see C's in the lobby, I say, C, what Biggie, I want to holler at him. He upstairs. He want to holler at you too. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to come upstairs and holler at him. Let me grab my weed, get my weed. C's take me upstairs. Biggie is upstairs in a walker, like what the old people walk around in. He got the little walker sitting at the edge of the bed. And when I walk in the room, we start talking, and then he looked me in my eyes, and he say something that, like he's sad that Tupac is dead, but I can look in his eyes and I can see that he hurt. He didn't even have to say it. I could see that he hurt behind Tupac being dead. This is not a man that's happy or glamorized. This is his friend that's dead, that they had a misunderstanding, and he could never get no justice for his emotions, but he's showing me his emotions. And He explaining to me how much he loved Tupac, and I ain't tripping. And not once do we bring up the Brooklyn incident, because what's understood don't need to be talked about. I go to New York probably about 3 months later. Biggie hit me up. Hey, come by the studio. We got 5 studios popping. Daddy's house or some shit. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. I go to the studio. He got like 4 rooms. He got Easy Mo B in the room, Premier in the room, and he got Stevie J in the room and some other motherfuckers in the room. And then he in one room with like about 30 motherfuckers in there, all army fatigues and beanies, and they smoking some bullshit ass weed. And I come in with that thing that killed John Wayne. So I pour my, you understand me? So I pour my weed out and change the temperature in the room. So Biggie at the board, he like, hey, check it out, hold on. Hey, Snoop, I want you to hear this shit. And the motherfucker push play. And he play that song where it say, dreaming of Learjets, mansions, and coupes, and trying to sell records like Snoop. Oops. And the whole room was like, oh. It was like him letting me know in front of all his homeboys, nigga, I fuck with you, I love you, and I ain't gonna never have a problem with you.
This is one of the most classic hip-hop stories of all time to me. If you weren't of age in this era, let me tell you, bruh, yo, this song, when it hit, was lyrically one of the dopest songs I think that was ever created. The hook, even though it was a remake, it was sick the way Snoop did it. You know what I'm saying? The beat by DJ Pooh, who never gets enough credit, was sick. All around, man, yo, salute to everybody involved. Salute to y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all for rocking with me. This is Care from Life is Lyrical. Peace, love, lyrics.